Hello everyone, Tech1421 here. Welcome back to another Minecraft Hunger Games gameplay commentary. In this one, I was Stomper. I was playing alongside Amp1520, who I believe was Chemist. Not sure why he decided to go Chemist. He knew we were going to go up and make some kind of tower, so not sure why he decided to go Chemist, but he went Chemist nonetheless. And we decided to team with this guy that was messaging us in the chat. His name was Phoenix, I believe. And yeah, we decided to team with him, and he was going to pillar up with us. And something happened. I don't know how he died, but when we were up here pretty early on into the game, he somehow died. I think he may have gotten Ender Mage down or something like that. We don't really know, but nonetheless, we were teaming with him, and our plan was to pillar up and do all this stuff. But this was a very fun game, and it was one of those games that really reminded me of like the old times of Stomper and those old gameplays that Amp and I had with Stomper. And it was just one of those games where things kind of just came into place, and it was just really fun to play, and I really enjoyed it. So Stomper is still my favorite kit for sure. I really enjoy using it. It's not as good as it used to be, that's for sure, but it's still a pretty good kit. And it's still one of those kits that I think can definitely get you a win if you play your cards right and play the situation right. So right here, this kangaroo was going full like ninja mode, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to try to stomp on him or not because he was jumping around a lot, and he was a pretty big threat for our team because he seemed to really know what he was doing. He just went up into this tower and tried to take this guy one-on-one, and just with the kangaroo, and was basically scaling up on the side of this. And I don't know if that's like a normal strategy to do, but it seemed like a pretty darn good strategy. And he actually ends up hitting this guy off of his tower, and now we're down to 15 players, and this guy is definitely a huge threat to Amp and I because he can easily come onto our tower somehow. So I told Amp to kind of back up. If I get knocked off the tower, it's no big deal because I have Stomper, but if he gets knocked off, then he is pretty much dead. So I tried to take this guy one-on-one and try to hit him off to the side, but it didn't work very well, and he actually ends up getting Ender Mage down by a random Ender Mage, a very kind of weird situation because Amp, probably the main target there was Amp to get Ender Mage down, and Amp would have probably most likely died to that team of 3. But this guy, the kangaroo, ends up kind of fleeing away and actually takes the team 1v3, so that's pretty crazy. And Amp actually ends up coming to my tower somehow, just so that if we got Ender Mage, we'd both get Ender Mage down, if that was the situation. And somehow our pillar was set on fire. I don't know if it was the guy that ended up dying before he got knocked off, if he like kind of set the whole pillar on fire because it was made out of wood. But anyways, Amp was on fire, and we kind of got worried there for a second. But if I didn't get knocked back onto this tower, I don't know how things would have played out. So it was definitely very fortunate that I ended up getting knocked back right onto like a part of the tower that I can safely get knocked back onto, and because I probably would have had to get more resources to pillar back up to the tower. Who knows what would have happened, but I see that the guy was over here, and without any kind of reaction, I just instantly try to get this guy while he doesn't see me coming, and I got a really nice stomp there. So that definitely changed the game dramatically. Our hugest kind of threat is just immediately knocked out of the game, and we have an unlimited amount of soup right now for the two of us. So that's really nice. I have about 25 or so building materials to build over to the feast, and the feast is fortunately right by our tower, which is definitely really nice because now we can actually stomp down on anyone that comes by. But it didn't look like there's anyone there, and we kind of gave it like a few seconds to see if anyone would try to go over to the feast. It didn't look like anyone was trying to, so I go ahead and I jump on down. We see a name tag there. I'm not sure if he ended up getting anything below the feast here because the first few chests that I went in were completely empty, so I'm not sure if he got anything below the feast, if he kind of dug out. But I did manage to get a helmet and a chest piece, and I believe also some boots as I look through, as well as a diamond sword. I forgot about that. So I get a diamond sword, which is really nice, which definitely an upgrade. And I got some more items for Amp as well. And I say, hey, I'm going to put a water bucket down here, and if you can somehow manage to jump into this little water thing, that'd be great, so that you're on the ground with me, so that if anyone comes by, we can 2v1 them or 2v2 them or whatever the situation may be, as long as we kind of stick together. So I gave him the chest piece and a bunch of other materials as well, and we kind of just go from there. So we definitely won the feast, but nowadays with the mini feast, you never really know if anyone could get better items or whatnot. But we go on the hunt here, not really sure of the situation, but team of 2 ends up dying from this one guy. So we don't know what materials he has, what the situation might be. We know that an Ender Mage was killed, which is nice, and the guy is a cultivator, I think it was. So I kind of just pillar up, waiting for him to come up to the surface. They were making their way up to the surface, but then we see the bonus feast appears. So I wanted to try to get the bonus feast because I've actually never been to the bonus feast before. So I wanted to try to get at least one bonus feast, and so we just kind of tried to go around and try to find it. I kill this zombie who gets a rare drop, and I give the sword to Amp. But here's where things go drastically wrong for us. Amp sees a name tag and goes into this hole not really knowing the situation, and he gets demo-manned or something. He gets blown to smithereens, and this guy wasn't even playing. It was just kind of one of those mirage things, so he wasn't actually there. So he dies, unfortunately. So now there's only, I think, 3 people left in the game, and I have some levels now because it was nighttime and I was getting some mobs, and I get a really nice enchantment on my sword. It was unbreaking, and also whatever the thing is where you get more power. I forget the name of it, and then I just enchant some more stuff as well. So that is really, really nice. Got some more enchantments, and then I try to make my way to the bonus feast. I didn't want to I didn't want to try to dig down to the team of 2 because I didn't know what their situation was. I didn't know if they had full iron or not. I didn't know what kit the other guy was, so I didn't want to go over to their hole. I think the best thing for me to do was just to try to find the bonus feast and kind of wait for the pit to arrive, and who knows what other things I may find as well. So I was talking to them in the all chat and just trying to be friendly, but I definitely want to try to win this game because I hadn't won a game for like a year and a half because I haven't really played. I've only played like 20 games or so in like the last year. So I wanted to definitely get the win. I see a mini feast right here, which is nice because I can enchant some more things, but there wasn't really anything in the mini feast for myself. There's no diamond to make a pair of pants, which is what I needed, and there's no, like, Stomper doesn't really, you can't really get anything from Stomper from these mini feasts because your kit, you're not given anything with your kit. It would be kind of nice if they put in like a stack of dirt or something for some of those kits that require you to have require you to kind of like pillar up, but you know, it is what it is. I think the mini feast is pretty cool, and they do have diamond in there occasionally, which is nice, so I think that's pretty awesome as well. You can make yourself a diamond sword if none of the kits that you see there really apply to you. So here I am trying to get to the bonus feast. It's about 50 minutes or so into the game, and as I'm trying to just make my way to a bonus feast, I do end up getting pillared down to this pit, and I see that they actually have no armor at all, and that makes me really excited. I go over to this guy who doesn't look to be playing at all, and I kill him right away, and then this guy was pillaring up to the top, so I end up pillaring up as well, but this was where it kind of got difficult. I knew I was Stomper, so I can take some risks, but I wanted to try to knock him off of his tower. I thought this was where his tower was, but because that's where the frames ended for me, and that's all I could see. But it turns out that he was way up there, so I had to pillar up really far. I didn't have any materials on me, so I had to get materials somehow. I thought the best way to do this was to make myself an axe and get all the trees nearby, because that kind of gives you like the best building blocks, because it gives you 4 for every block that you knock down. But I don't know, maybe dirt's probably the best as well. But for this late game here, we don't have to worry about anything like setting your tower on fire or anything like that. I think, you know, wood's pretty good to tower up with. But this guy was definitely kind of being a pain. I was Stomper, so I wasn't worried about him knocking me down too much. But I do end up kind of taking my eye off the prize here for a second, and he ends up actually knocking me back down. You'll see in a second here, which is very, very unfortunate because it did take me quite some time to get those building blocks, and I was gonna knock it. I was gonna set his tower on. I was gonna try to explode his tower, but it didn't really work too well. So now I have to try to get to his tower again, and I was running into lots of mob trouble underneath this feast. It was nighttime, and all the mobs kind of had to spawn in this little area because we couldn't go outside of it. So as I was trying to get wood, I was definitely having a lot of problems with some just random mobs that came up behind me, like this witch thing that I don't really know too much about, but it gave me a pretty hard time. It gave me pretty much a harder time than any player per se gave me, besides that kangaroo early in the game. So I ended up killing it, and I wish it would give you something good, but it doesn't really give you that much. It would be kind of cool if you kill a witch and you can get like a potion, a random potion. I don't know if that's actually a thing, if there's like a random chance of getting a potion, but now I am trying to pillar up for round 2, and he was wondering why I wouldn't let him win, but I'm not going to let him win because he didn't really deserve the win, number 1. And number 2, I want the win for myself because I haven't won in quite some time. I tried to knock him off here as he knocks me off. It didn't really work too well. And now I'm going to go into my inventory, get my bow and arrow, because now I do have 2 more arrows. And he just goes full man mode right here and tries to knock me off, but he ends up getting knocked off as well. So I do win my game, and somehow I didn't get the kill for that, which is kind of weird. But I really like how they do this this congratulations, and they give you the cake and stuff like that. I kind of find it funny how the whole cake situation. I was one of the first people to give someone a cake for winning the Hunger Games, and that's actually kind of how I lost my admin. I only had it for a couple of hours, so I really want to be admin again. I think that'd be really cool. I have some great series ideas that I would do if I had the admin, just kind of following people around and doing stuff like that. It would be really fun, but nonetheless, I do get the win here, and of course I have to blow up everything with TNT as a victory celebration, but before I could do so, the server closes, unfortunately. But you can see there I got first place with 2 kills. It didn't give me the kill for the last guy. Don't know why. It probably should have, but it didn't, unfortunately. Amp didn't get any kills, but you can see how long the game did go there. 50 minutes for that pit there, and then it took me a full 9 more minutes to try to kill that other guy. But I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys can leave this a like and all that, that'd be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you all next time. Peace.